Today, my mother has just died, and she died in my hands as I was holding her. It's now 1 a.m., 1:06 a.m., and she died at 6:30 p.m. And this is me documenting it and just literally sort of thinking or whatever about it. So she died while we were transferring her from a hospital to hospital, because the hospital didn't accept her. So we were going to another hospital that they told us that we have to go there. And while going there, I was holding her. I was because we're Muslims, we make a prayer. It's called the Shahada, which is like you say that I believe that there's only but one God, and the Prophet is Muhammad, which is the Prophet in Islam. And you have to say it with holding your finger. And I was holding her finger and I was reciting it again and again, as because I've seen her numbers before we get out. I've seen her blood pressure was 5.3 or 55/30, which is the lowest I've ever seen. And I am a nursing student. This is my third year. I have 1 year to become a nurse, and I've seen this is the lowest I've ever seen, and it's insane. It's crazy, and I have no clue how this happened. It just happened because my mother wasn't actually the worst in her life right now today. She wasn't at all. She was just tired and she was a bit unconscious. She was a bit confused, whatever. But that's my mother, because she was in palliative treatments. She was following her treatment, but there was a treatment failure. Then she was getting palliative treatment, which, if you don't know what palliative means, it means the treatment for the end of life. So it makes death easier. So it reduces pain, it reduces this and that, but it doesn't actually treat. So you don't become healthy with palliative treatment, but death becomes easier as the process, and less pain and less suffering and this and that. And really, my mother wasn't. I've seen her in way worse than this. So we were not very concerned a lot, right? And I wasn't, although I've done her analysis. As I said, I have 1 year to become a nurse, 1 year left. But this year, I have 2 weeks left, 1 week, 2 weeks left. I only have my exams, which is next Monday, and today is Sunday. Now it's Monday because we got into the next day, but whatever. So I have only 1 year, so I took her blood out, and I went to the laboratory and I gave them whatever. And I came back and we talked with the doctor after the analysis got out, and it was like, hey, well, you look at the analysis. She was like, no, but you have to look at her blood pressure. You have to look at her sugar, blood sugar, as well as heartbeats. And once I was seeing them, I was like, this can't be true. As I saw 373 or something, 73 in her blood pressure. This is I've never seen this. So I said, probably the device is broken. So went out, I got new batteries, 4 new batteries, and got them. And I found 5.3. I said, probably it's the hand. I'll choose another one. And it was the same, about 5.3. So I knew that's true. Blood sugar was 66, 66, which is a very low blood pressure. So I knew it was very critical for blood pressure, especially. Her heartbeats was about 147. So it's very high heartbeat. And we very fast, actually, we took care of her. So we got her. My cousin came here with the car. We went. I went. So it was me, my auntie, my brother, and my cousin, and I was the one who's holding her, as I am the one who carries her around. I take care of her. I take care of her. As I said, I have 1 year left in nursing, so I pretty much do everything. It's like she has a sonde, as a physical sonde or urinary sonde, or tube, whatever you call it. I do that. She has a lot of bandages. not a lot. She has just two. I changed them. I changed it for her. So these are all sterile acts. Sterile means there has to be absolutely no bacteria or germs or whatever. So it needs knowledge, or just it needs someone who's practicing, or whether a professional or someone like me who has like 1 year left to become a nurse or a doctor or whatever. For me, I have 1 year left to become a nurse. So we did that. I was actually surveying her, her heartbeat. It was very hard to notice it, being honest. Her breath was easy to capture. She was having difficulty to breathe. She was absolutely less contracted. As I carry her, I noticed something. I always thought she can't move her muscles because she was half paralyzed. But today, I've seen how no muscle work is. She was just like when I carried her the second time from a hospital, her head was like this, So I've never had that, because when I used to carry her head keeps like this, not like this, and it doesn't go back. And because her muscles are actually still working, but they were not working. So while in the car, I was actually reciting a shahada, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan rasulullah, which is the reciting shahada, or you believe that there's only but one God and the Prophet, and you have to say in Islam before death, right? So I was doing that. I was raising her finger, repeating it repeatedly. I'm pretty sure I also recited some Quran, which is also the holy book. If you don't know Islam, so Quran is like the Bible for Christians, whatever, other religions. So it's like Quran, I was reciting Quran as well. And she was having difficulty breathing. And I also, because I had my hand like this and holding her hand, and her head was, there. So I removed my hand, so her head is in a better position to breathe. But still, as I would say lately, in the past, like the last few minutes, she was having saliva in her mouth, but she couldn't actually swallow the saliva. So the saliva was going out, and it feels like bubbles that you see in movies, like when people are about to die or they get whatever. And you see them like having those bubbles and whatever liquid in there. And that was like her saliva. She couldn't actually swallow it. And it was very obvious. And her breathing became difficult. And her breathing at the end was like, and she waits. Then she waits. So it's very disturbed. So when we got her to a clinic is a private hospital, and they said, no, we will not accept it. You have to get her to the Central Hospital, University Hospital, Central, whatever, which is like one of the biggest hospitals. It's the biggest hospital in our region. So I got her there. So this is public. So while going there, it's like while getting out of the clinic, then it died. She died. It's not it, she. My mother has died in my hands as I was holding her, and it was looking, right? And it was holding her hand, it was reciting a shahada, and it was looking. So I was looking at her, like monitoring her, not in the eyes, but it's just looking everywhere. And I noticed something, and I'm like, there's no heartbeat, there's no movement at all, and she's not breathing. And I'm waiting for that. As I told you, lately, at last, she was not breathing like us. She was like, and it waits, and it was waiting for that, because before it happened, and I heard that, and it just never came. And then I cried, and I knew that she died. And I said, my mother's dead. Yep, my mother was dead. And I was reciting a shahada all along, and I continued. I never stopped. When I got her to the hospital, I carried her as I always do. So I got my mother. So that hospital is the hospital where I go through an internship, and my mother went there countless times. They know us, right? They're familiar with us. So they didn't even talk, right? The moment she saw me, she's like, just get her to the emergency. It's called déchocage in French. I don't know what's called in Arabic, in English, but it's like it's not reanimation. It's something, right? It's like emergency, but very like big emergency, and it's like emergency that might die stuff. And once I got her, it's like, is she dead or alive? Because that's what I wanted to know, because I knew she was dead, but I wanted them to say she was dead. Who knows? And yeah, they did her those things, the electrodes in the chest, the 3 electrodes, and she was looking, she says, probably they didn't even make them work. They just did the saturation thing. I don't remember, honestly. But the point, she was like, she said, I said she's dead. She said, it's asystole, which means there's no heartbeats. It's a medical term. I said, yeah, that's what it is. So it's not, I didn't say this, but I said, recitments that we say in our religion, we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, which means we are of God and to Him we return, which is a very, you have to say it when someone dies in our religion, in Islam. Also, I said, may Allah be with her and grant her mercy and have mercy on her and grant her the highest places of heaven, which calls Jannat al-Firdaus in Islam, or paradise of Firdaus. It's the highest level of paradise. So may Allah grant her the highest level of paradise of Firdaus. May Allah be with her and have it easy on her. May Allah grant her mercy and ease and, be merciful on her. And yes, we are of God and to Him we return. That's all what I'm going to say. It's 1 a.m. I have a lot of work tomorrow, as the burial will be after tomorrow, so in 2 days. So, but tomorrow, probably there will be like a lot of people. I want to say a billion, but I wouldn't. There will be a lot of people that come to the house, so I have to wake up at like 6 a.m., take care, get a shower, take care of the house, do some stuff. And it's more of I have to. And it's more also like I am the man of the house. And I repeatedly was remembered today that if I go down, everyone's going down. I'm the pillar of the house. I have to stay up. So I have to sleep. I'll sleep now. Wake up at 6 a.m., get a shower, take care of the house, receive my sister, my cousins, my auntie from airport, or just waiting here. I don't know. I don't really know. And then really just make the tent where people will come, because there will be like huge numbers. So make the tent and see how that goes. Not see how that goes, but hopefully it's good. And also I have to work on papers. So Death apparently has a lot of papers. Not a lot, but you sort of have to make a paper, and you have to go to some place. It's like a court. You explain to them how she died, and I think that's it. You also then you go to the hospital. Then you go to the what they call it, the morse, whatever, where they keep bodies. It's not a graveyard, but probably it's a morse. Then they give you. They already gave me a death certificate, but they give you like a report. Then you go to the morgue again, and they give you the admission to actually bury her. Then you go to the hospital so you can actually get her, and also you have to go to the graveyard. So you get a grave. I'm not really like, I've never done this before, but I have my cousin who have done this, and he has knowledge, and he also knows someone who works in the morse, whatever, and he's helping me a lot, and he's also will be the person who's in charge of the tent. He will pay for her and everything, And yep. And my mother also will not bury her because my brother will come tomorrow at like 5 p.m., which in our religion, in Islam, we only bury dead people in prayers, and there's 5 prayers, 1 excluded or 2 excluded, and there's only 3. And if he comes at 5 p.m., you have to wait to another day. So we wait to another day, which is the day after tomorrow, and we bury her. I hope that goes well. Hope that will be better than today. And yes, it's I'll say the takeaway. I have to say like a takeaway. It's like what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's just a bit, it's different. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Subscribe.